Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me. Well, not literally because I'm live and you'll be seeing this after I post it, but thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I'm Megan, the Fibromyalgia Warrior, and just wanted to share how things have been going so far in my life. To be honest with you, if you didn't catch my last two videos, I have actually been finding so much relief from my fibromyalgia pain. It's not completely gone, but it has improved so much since I have gone. Well, now I consider myself to be fully carnivore, so only eating the product of animals. So I eat things like I eat chicken. I eat red meat when I can get it. Mince mostly, meatloaf, and these no taco chip tacos, which I'll tell you about in a minute, and also bacon. Loving bacon. Now, I have gone carnivore out of necessity. So, if you didn't check out my last two videos, I basically have been sharing how, obviously, as here at least in the UK and a lot of the world, we are still either in lockdown or we are in restriction mode. And for that reason, like so many people, my family and I did a lot of takeaways or, ordering food in, however you want to call it. And it was usually comfort food full of rich sauces and sugars and all sorts of processed stuff. And needless to say that my husband and I both put on weight. Now, I have two teenage boys, and so they both seem to have holes in their legs or something because they can eat, and at this point it doesn't affect them. But by the time I would say late April, early May came around, I was probably at about 173 pounds. Now I'm only 5'5", and the fact that I've had two kids and I'm 47, I should, for optimal health, be somewhere around 140 pounds ish, right? Keeping in mind that because I have fibromyalgia and I suffer with chronic lower back pain from an old spine injury, I've reduced mobility, so it's not like I could have gone to the gym or gone running or whatever. So I was at 173 pounds, and my arthritis had inflamed quite significantly. My guts were killing me. My IBS was probably at its worst. And just the pain in my body and my joints from all this processed crappy food and the weight that I was putting on, realized I have to figure out a way to lose weight. Now, I also have hypothyroidism or underactive thyroid or whatever you want to call it. That was finally diagnosed in March of this year, literally about 3 days before lockdown occurred here. So I was given my thyroid medication, and I take it every morning without fail, but it didn't seem to be helping. So I figured, oh, well, I guess I'm stuck at this weight and this size. This is me now. I can't do anything about it. I was recommended a book by my sister-in-law who was able to reverse her Hashimoto symptoms. And so I got it for my Kindle, and it's a paleo approach, which honestly, compared to the standard Western diet, was far better, but it didn't quite get me there enough. Because although I cut out sugar, I cut out soy, I cut out dairy, and I cut out gluten, because all these things my body can't handle anyways. I already knew that, so I cut that stuff out. But then I was making, leafy green juices, if you will, and throwing in carrots and ginger and all this apples and fruit, and not realizing until much later that all that fructose and starch was just as bad in some ways probably even worse because it was spiking up my insulin, causing my body to hang on to all the fat and then not allowing any of it to get burned off. So I didn't just quit. I found some YouTubers online and I thought, oh, what's this ketogenic lifestyle? And because I'd already cut out a lot of the processed stuff, but I was still having massive problems with my IBS and with my fibromyalgia pain, I realized I'm missing something, or rather, I'm still not taking something out that needs to be removed. So I looked at more YouTube videos, I did more research, and I realized I have to give up peanuts, which I didn't know are actually not nuts, they're legumes. And I already know if you have IBS, you do not eat legumes and you stay away from pulses and seeds and all grains, cereals, nuts, because they're inflammatory. I'd already, I'd quit sugar, and I thought, after watching a few other videos, I thought, oh, I guess I better cut out the sweetener as well. And I thought that was going to be the most impossible thing for me because I always like a little bit of sweetener in my coffee. And then I realized when I looked at it as, okay, my health over a coffee that has a bit of sweetness. I'll make myself like it because, I want to be healthy, like optimally healthy. I want to get rid of as much inflammation as I possibly can. And some of it is, triggered through stress, and that will never go away completely. So the food stuff, though, a lot of it, honestly, I knew better. I just told myself, yeah, I'll pay the consequences later. I don't care. I'm going to eat that piece of extra delicious chocolate layer cake because I like chocolate. Now, funny thing happened to me, and that is that as I started to learn about eating a more ketogenic, whatever you want to call it, diet, is that my taste buds started to change. And, so for me, because I was already I'd already decided I was going to be 100% committed and stick to this paleo diet until I realized I needed something extra. And then I found the keto diet and what's involved there. But as much as I started to lose some weight, I was still feeling bloated. I was still having constipation. I still wasn't feeling great. And then I started watching a few videos by Dr. Ken Berry, and also some by his wife, Nisha. That's Neisha. If you guys want to look up her videos, she has her own channel. Nisha loves it. It's great. And what I came to realize is that if I was to start eliminating some of the fruits, well, I had already cut out fruits at this point. I had pretty much made the decision I was going to cut out starchy veg. I already knew certain things to avoid, like onions and garlic and, starchy potatoes, because they gave me problems with my IBS, and I'm allergic to garlic. So as I was going, right, so now what do I eat? It was really odd because as I started to eat far more protein, initially it was just chicken, and then I was able to get my husband to see why it was important to add in things like bacon and some mince and some other red meat here and there. I'm fully on board. He's not quite there yet, which is fine. But as I was going through this stuff, I was realizing that I didn't really like the taste of vegetables anymore. And in the end, that's for the best because they are carby. So, and my guts can't handle them. I cannot tolerate carbs at all, period. It doesn't matter where they come from. And, for those of you who are not on a low carb or no carb, higher protein, healthy fat diet, then it might sound really weird to you. But for those of you who have gone from, say, keto to Ketovore, which is basically a meat-heavy ketogenic diet with a few, with a few vegetables here and there for whatever ones you happen to be able to tolerate. But for me, I realized that as much as I had always loved vegetables, that in the end, the ultimate betrayal, vegetables were a huge reason why I was having so many IBS issues in the first place, which, back in the day, like I said, at 47, back when this was all first starting to happen, so 20 years ago, nobody knew about this stuff. So, I would like to get upset, but I can't. But at least now I know about it. And I have to say, for anybody who is skeptical or doubtful or thinks, well, why would I do all that? Like, what's the point? If you live with fibromyalgia, if you suffer with inflammatory and chronic pain, or you have an autoimmune condition that causes inflammation in your joints or through different parts of your body, please just give this a try. You'll have to ease into it. I wouldn't recommend anybody just suddenly go, right, that's it. I'm giving up my Frosted Flakes and everything else that I love, and I'm just going to eat nothing but things like butter, real butter, by the way, sorry, not margarine, butter or lard, ghee. You can, use things like, if you can tolerate it, avocado oil, coconut seed oil, or olive oil. I have unfortunately just come to realize that I cannot tolerate coconut oil as much as I do like it, because it's a fruit and there is that, fructose content. I can't absorb it or tolerate it. So olive oil seems to be okay, and a little bit of real butter if I'm frying eggs or whatever works. The thing is, this is what I had to do. Now, if you're somebody who manages to tolerate some vegetables, fantastic. And I am jealous and envious like you wouldn't believe. But start slow. And seriously, I thought it was going to be this overwhelming thing. Start really slow. Start removing some of these common triggers like sugar and soy and dairy. And I always forget, and gluten. You don't have to have celiac disease to have an intolerance to gluten. In fact, so many people have a sensitivity or an intolerance, and yet they don't test positive for the full allergy. It doesn't matter. If you have a sensitivity or an intolerance, your body will be inflamed if you eat it. So you'll feel bloated, or you'll feel gassy or constipated or nauseous. So that might be why, you crave that piece of chocolate cake, and a couple hours later, or in my case, much sooner, you are feeling sick to your stomach. You feel like you just grew 4 sizes from the bloating, because your body can't handle it. It can't process it. So even if, you think you're okay with it, it's a good idea to just remove it, because all it's going to do is it's going to convert to carbohydrates, and it's going to get stored in your body eventually as fat. So best to just remove it if possible. That's what gluten does. It just, yeah. So the reason I'm sharing all this, okay, is I have gone from wearing a UK size 18, which is about a size 14 in the US and Canada, and I'm now down to a size UK 12, which is an 8 in the US or Canada. So I've gone down 3 dress sizes just since the end of May. Okay, because May 29th is when my husband and I both agreed that we were going to start on this paleo diet approach, because he wanted to lose weight as well, and he has lost it. I mean, he's an avid cyclist, so that's how he gets his exercise. But check out all the videos you can find. I would recommend the videos by Dr. Jason Fung. He focuses primarily on how intermittent fasting is an incredible health booster. You don't have to do it. It's just once you fully sort of move your way, if you decide to go from keto to /ketovore all the way to carnivore, depending what your body can tolerate or not, I would seriously recommend watching his videos, because you'll find that you are full, you stay satisfied way longer, and therefore you don't feel like eating all the time. And in that sense, you are fasting in between your meals, and you can learn how to stretch the time out. And there's just so many good things that happens to your body when you do. Also, I really recommend you watch videos by Dr. Ken Berry, that's Berry, as well as, like I said, his wife Nisha. Nisha loves it. She has all these different great recipes that are ketovore and even keto friendly, and they're tasty and delicious and amazing. So I'm sharing this because if, like me, you have reached the maximum amount of pain medication that you're allowed to take, and you are still in pain, then this can help. Even if you don't need to lose weight. I've lost now, I'm down to 135 pounds, and I was 173. So what's that, like 68? No, that's not right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyways, I can't work out the math right this second. That is 38 pounds. Yeah, sorry, 38 pounds just since May the 29th. And I'm not restricting my calories. I don't even count calories anymore. I just eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full, which is the key. But I understand it will take time to get there. So you might have to start by just, cutting out all carbs and starches. If, as you transition, if you need to, let's say, make something that, like gluten-free bread, if you want to make that yourself, it's better than what's bought at the store, right? It's gluten-free flour. It's going to be a little bit better for you than what you buy at the store, and you're making it yourself, so that's great. However, it still is based mainly on potato starch flour and cornstarch flour. So just keep that kind of thing in mind. Those are still starches. But again, it's better than flour made that has gluten in it. And it's certainly better than any of the bread you would buy ready-made from the store. Yeah. And to be honest with you, to go to the ketogenic diet is not that expensive. In fact, you will find that it starts to cost you less because you are eliminating so many inflammatory foods. If you suffer with, in my case, I have osteoarthritis. I also have Raynaud's and IBS and an underactive thyroid and chronic back pain, but primarily fibromyalgia. And all of these things kind of fight together to decide who is going to cause the most trouble in me. But I have to tell you, since I have been on this proper eating journey, let's say, since May 29th, not only have I lost almost 40 pounds, honestly without hardly even trying, but my inflammation has been dramatically reduced. My pain medications are actually effective now. When I take them and they start to kick in, I actually feel pain relief. Whereas before, if I didn't take them, I would be in agony. But if I did take them, I was still in lots and lots and lots of pain. Whereas now, they're actually effective. I actually feel like they're helping me manage my pain better. So please, if you suffer or someone you love suffers with any sort of chronic or inflammatory pain, please, please, please try a low carb, high protein and fat diet, and or a ketogenic diet, a ketovore diet, which is basically keto, which is meat heavy with a little bit of veg and good healthy fats, or carnivore. And like I said, there's some amazing videos out there. Definitely check them out. If you like this video, if you want to see any more like this, please give me a like and a thumbs up. And if you're new, please subscribe. Love to have you join the group. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.